Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day, another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. And we got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to get to the mantra in like 2 minutes because we need to talk about this debate. I'm going to tell you who I think the winner is based on my dissection of it. I watched the entire thing from the beginning to the end, even the shitty commercials that suck. I do not want to promote any kind of ABC. I think the people that were the moderators were horrible, and I think the show could have been better moderated on another platform. I think ABC is completely horrible, and I'm just going to leave that there and get back to the mantra. Today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. You are looking in the mirror and you're reflecting on where you've been and where you're going to next on your stardom journey, right? We're taking today as a Tuesday so we can learn to love ourselves even more than we did yesterday and love the reflection that we're seeing in the mirror. We can say to ourselves, I can have a great day. Yes, I can. We can say to ourselves, I can learn something new. We can say to ourselves, I can be better. I can learn how to play the cello, the piano, the saxophone. I can learn how to knit. I can learn how to sew. I can learn how to sing. I can learn how to read a new genre of a new thing that I haven't read before. I can learn how to cook something I've never cooked before. I can travel. I can have, aspirations and dreams. I can maybe want to get in an RV and travel the United States of America. That sounds kind of fun. Maybe you want to learn a different language, right? Maybe you want to move. Maybe you want to buy a new car. You're tired of the lemon you have in the driveway. You want something new. Maybe you finally are ready to buy a house and you're sick of renting. Maybe you want to make a new best friend. Maybe you're ready to have kids. Maybe you're ready to find a new job, and maybe you want to change your major at school because you actually don't really love biology the way you thought you did when you originally decided to make that your major. Whatever the case may be, maybe you even want a new roommate. You should be saying to yourself, yes, I can. Yes, we can. Following the idea of yes, we can is the idea of never giving up. How can you possibly give up on yourself or anyone else you love and not persevere through the difficulty? Life is not easy. It's typically hard most of the time. We have to endure a lot of things that aren't fun. We have to get news from a doctor that we don't want to hear. And I told you before about me probably getting falsely told I had polycystic ovary syndrome and how I was forced to live in an inhabitation of misery and sadness for no reason, basically. And that to me is bizarre, but okay. The doctor's telling you bad news. You didn't get the promotion you wanted at your job. You didn't get that A on that paper you thought you were going to get at school. Okay? You didn't get the house you thought you were going to get because you got outbid at the last minute. You were going to buy that new car and then they sold it from under you and you thought you had it and it was gone. Whatever the case may be, you thought you were getting in that apartment, but all the apartments are gone. Whatever the case may be, you can't let life stop you from living. Just because bad news happens doesn't mean you can't take the lemons and make lemonade. Doesn't mean you can't find a way to be happy. I know life is chaotic and miserable and it's not always the way you want it to be, but that doesn't mean you have to be in the darkness and the negativity. You can find the light in the darkness. You have to persevere through the difficulty, persevere through the bad to get back to the good. That is the idea of never giving up. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to the men and women that serve my great country and to say thank you to those who fight for me to be free, right? The ambulance drivers, the medics, the people that are working 24-hour shifts in the emergency room, the people that do everything they do to keep us safe here where I live, thank you. And all the men and women that are serving around the entire world, thank you for all your work and everything that you put into us. Saying thank you never feels like it's enough. The mantra of never giving up really does mean something to me, and saying this every day seeing John Cena walk around with his bandana and his hats and everything that he has that represents that mantra, it really does mean a lot to me. And I'm never going to give up on you. And I hope in Jesus' name you'll never give up on me either. Moving on from the idea of never give up, let's get to a quick edition of Why Not Today, because procrastination and indecisiveness isn't anybody's friend, right? Taking too long to make decisions isn't the answer, right? Procrastinating if you're going to buy that house. If you wait too long, you're going to outbid on that, right? When are you going to go get the car you need? When are you going to go apply for that promotion or ask your manager if you could get the promotion? When are you going to have these conversations? When? What are you waiting for? What's stopping you? What's the limitation here? There's the question, right? Why are we pretending like we have forever to make decisions? Why aren't we fixing the dishwasher? I don't think I could go 2 weeks without the dishwasher being fixed. I think I'd go insane. And I don't even really do the dishes. My husband does. But still, if he's busy and I have to do it, my go-to would be the dishwasher. I'm not going to want to wash dishes by hands, and I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it. So for me, the dishwasher needs to be fixed. The idea that the washing machine in the basement isn't working, I'm definitely getting someone on Angie to come look at it and check it out and tell me what's wrong with it. And if my car's not working right, if there's some weird noise going on with your car, you probably need to contact the mechanic. I told you yesterday there's some weird thing on the side of my car, and I don't know where the damn thing came from. We're living in a time where I guess people can do hit and runs and smash up against your car and not write you a note, and that's just okay. Great. So now who knows how much I'm going to have to pay to get this fixed. But organization is important for your life. You have to prioritize the doctors. You have to prioritize a lot of things. And if you don't do that, if you don't make sure you get things done and you don't do things the correct way, you're going to suffer. And it's not going to be fun.
I think we all know that tonight was the night that highlights something that you all have been working so hard on. We have folks here who have been knocking on doors.
Honestly, it's important that you don't put off today for tomorrow, and you realize that there's no click remote. Time can't be stopped. We don't have the power to stop it or make it move faster or make it move slower. This is not a movie, it's reality, right? The aliens are going to come down, or they're already here. It's going to be invasion of the body snatchers, and we're going to want to make sure we get things done before they eat us, okay? That's just it. We don't have time to not do things correctly. That's it. Moving on from the why not today, let us get to the headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. Now, I wrote out a skit of what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to say that before I get into my conversation about this debate tonight. Boycotting the news, because I watched the debate for like an hour and a half, 90 minutes, and I was just really confused about the debate and the way they were all attacking Donald Trump during it. I say we boycott all the news, like maybe not Fox or the Republican stations, only because that's the only place you can get the actual news of what the hell is happening in the world, right? On these liberal stations, they're not telling you factual details. No one is fact checking these people, including the people that are reporting this shit that are supposed to be reporters. And by the way, I studied journalism in college, right? My minor in college was media studies. So I know a lot about media studies, journalism. I know a lot about that. One of my professors is the weatherman on a local station in the state I live in. I'm just going to leave you with that. Stupid decisions lead to stupid outcomes. So I don't want to hear fucking Democrats or liberals or undecided or any of these people bitch about what happens if Donald Trump does not win in November. Because if he doesn't win in November, America is really gone. It's bad now. It's going to get a million times worse. Biden's going to pardon Hunter, and we know it. How can anyone support incompetence? Well, you're asking yourself that question, but why are the numbers so close? That's incompetence. So, I think Trump won the debate tonight. I think that Kamala Harris wants to pull the wool over our eyes and tell us that she doesn't want to talk about the past and she wants to focus on the future. But she is supposedly the future, but she's also the current now. She's the incumbent. Her and Joe Biden are. She lost the debate tonight, and now she's calling for a second debate. And I don't really think Donald Trump should talk to the fake media right now, but he is, because he doesn't give a fuck about these losers. ABC is a whack fucking station, and we all know it. It was 3-on-1 tonight. It wasn't Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump versus ABC and Kamala Harris. That's what it was, and it was embarrassing. You could tell that they hated him. You could tell they didn't want to be there. You could tell a bunch of things. It was insane. And honestly, we shouldn't be surprised. Now, I was listening to Daily Wire a moment ago, and I like Daily Wire, but they were saying that they wanted Trump to do more, but how could he do more when he was attacked by 3 people? Like, I guess I would have wanted him to do more too. I think he really could have, like, got Kamala where she deserved to be.
I've just been told President Trump may make his way over here and join us live, which would be great. But first we have...
But honestly, I think he won. I think that she was all over the place. She didn't answer any questions. And if anybody was actually looking at this debate tonight, trying to understand exactly where Kamala Harris was with anything, they did not get that response or answer. She didn't answer any of the questions. What are you going to do about any of these things? Why did you change your mind about fracking or green energy or guns or any of these lunatic things that you said you wanted to do? Why have you changed your mind on it? Why are you stealing Donald Trump's things? Why are you lying to the American people, doing a bunch of stuff? ABC didn't ask her anything. And I like Daily Wire, right? I like the idea that you can have your own opinion and your thoughts and you're all just talking to each other. I think that's why I'm so intrigued by their conversations. But I think Trump won because, first of all, the ending of the conversation, he owned that. And he kept bringing everything back to policy and the border and inflation. And I think that's the main takeaways from this conversation. I liked when he said to her, I'm talking, laugh out loud, hilarious. I liked when he insulted Joe Biden, her boss. And I liked when he said to her, you're in the White House now. Why don't you make these decisions today? Because why aren't they making these decisions today? If they're not making these decisions now, what in God's name makes you think that if Kamala Harris wins, she's going to change her mind? And I constantly hear people that are Democratic tell me, we needed to get rid of Joe Biden. Kamala Harris is going to be so much greater. She's a communist, okay? You guys understand what the definition of a communist is? She's a far leftist lunatic. She wants to get rid of private medical care. I don't want fucking Medicare for all. I'm not elderly. That's not going to help me and my husband. We're not old, right? What about the young people? Why does the government have to have their finger in everything I'm doing? And when I listened to the racist ass question from the dumb fucker say, why did you question Kamala Harris's race? That led me to think right away, automatically, that this whole thing was against Trump. And I liked Trump's response. I don't care what race she is. It doesn't matter. The moderators didn't ask her anything important, and ABC is an embarrassment. And I don't know if I want to go to Disney World, honestly. My husband wants to, but I don't know. Like, do I really want to give them my money? No. Honestly, I don't want to. I'm not intrigued by these people. They're a turnoff. It's not even the fact that it's disrespectful, because we know they're fake media and they suck. It's the idea that they're trying to play around with people's minds to convince like unaffiliated and independent voters to support her ass. Everything that they have done in their run with power has failed. And we can all see it, and there's no way for them to lie about it. But they're going to continue to do that. Trump won, Kamala lost. And she's trying to get a second debate, and I don't think he should do it. What do they need a second debate for? For her to do exactly what she did to him tonight? She came across as derogatory and angry and upset, right? That's how she came across to me. And not just her, but the two moderators came across like that too. They came across as hateful, envious, angry, irritated people. None of them got down to the nitty-gritty of anything, including all these illegal aliens, right? They brought up January 6th, and I don't know why we spent any time talking about that, because Trump is right. What about the people that are doing all these things today, right now? What about the crime that's happening now? And then the ABC guy is like, the numbers have gone down. What numbers? Have you looked at the actual FBI data? Because it hasn't, right? Inflation is at an all-time high. Things are not good. What the hell? Like, this literally left me feeling like I think the world can see what's happening, and I don't think Kamala's grift is going to work anymore. I think she's done. And they can try to continue to run this, but I think in November, the people are going to vote just like the people did in 2016. And I think Trump is going to take back the White House. I think she just gave him the presidency, because she couldn't stay on topic. She didn't answer any questions, and no one knows who the fuck she is. We didn't know who she was yesterday, and we damn sure don't know who the hell she is today, and we're not going to know who she is tomorrow. They're going to hide her back in a cubby now, and they're going to keep her away from a microphone. And of course, she didn't laugh during this conversation, but I think the greatest moments in this conversation is when Trump just asked her questions and she never answered them. He basically did the job of the moderators and the debater tonight. And I don't think that anyone watched this and thought that this is going to help her win. Anyone watching this knows that this was Trump's win, because it was 3-on-1. And I think all the Republicans, Daily Wire, Dan Bongino, Dinesh D'Souza, Fox News, and every other Republican outlet needs to run on what we all witnessed. We watched a 3-on-1 attack on Donald Trump. They brought up him being a villain, as if Hunter Biden just didn't plead guilty to 9 counts, right? They constantly attack Donald Trump and make him out to be the bad guy when Kamala Harris had sex with a married man to gain her power, okay? That's how she came into her power. She's basically being a prostitute since she's 50 years old, having sex with whoever she needed to have sex with to retain power. And nobody might want to talk about that, but I do, because I'm a real reporter, right? I'm a real journalist, and I might not actually be a journalist on a news station, but you kind of got to be a journalist if you're a podcaster, because you have to look and research information to talk about, right? That's a part of it. And I think that's another reason I like podcasting, is because of my background and my education in journalism and media gives me a very, very fine insight to things that I might not have otherwise. Kamala Harris came out lying. She talked about things that didn't matter, right? January 6th and some occasion where he called the cops on people. She talked about things that should have been fact checked, right? She made up shit multiple times, and the moderators didn't call her out. So you know who's going to end up winning this? Trump. Because Trump did the job of ABC, and ABC failed the American people. That's it. Trump's coming on Fox News to talk to Hannity right now. Very entertaining. I think that he should not do a second debate, and I think he should take this win and go to the White House with it. Moving on from politics, thank you for tuning in to this election edition of No Media Allowed, No Media Allowed, No Media Allowed. Because they lie to us anyway. We're going to take a trip into the Matrix just because it's like 10 minutes after the debate. And we're going to go down the rabbit hole of red or blue, red or blue. They're coming for you, they're coming for you. The Matrix. You are what you eat. I think that the whole conversation between RFK and a bunch of other people talking about what we're eating in the United States and the weight problem that exists here is extremely important. The food industry wants us to be fat slobs, doesn't want us to pay attention to the calories we're consuming, the gyms we should go to, and important things like trainers and nutritionists and water and portion sizing and things like that. No, they want us to be consumed with gluttony and a bunch of things that are inappropriate. But okay. How long are they going to get away with lying to us? And I'm not just talking about in one country, I'm talking about in all of them. But I'm specifically talking about the United States of America because in London and England and Italy and all these foreign countries that are in the West, there's not a weight problem there like there is here. People come to the United States and they're fat as fuck. They're overweight. They don't go to the gym. They don't work out. They don't drink water. They look horrible, right? And the doctors aren't saying anything to them. They want to put them all on Ozempic. That's going to be the answer to their fat problem, is to get them on a drug that they're never going to get off. Once you go on that, you can't get off of it. It's a suppressant for diabetes. Do your doctors actually tell you about these things? Do your doctors tell you about high blood pressure? Do your doctors tell you about kidney stones or anything that could have horrible outcomes, right? Do they talk to you about these things? I wonder. And I'm starting to think that the pharma and the doctors are working together to continue to have people be sick, so we'll continue to put money into the food industry that's killing us. Okay. In the end, I think people are going to have enough common sense to understand what they need to do, how they need to eat, and how they need to work out so they can live longer and stronger, because it cannot be left up to the government. Today, I went to a class at church where we're studying the New Testament, John. And I think the best thing that I learned today was the fact that with Adam and Eve, the reason why they were so susceptible to sin is because there was something deeper than sin that led them to be sinful. And that was doubt. You immediately want a new fight. You want a rematch. Unfathomable doubt. And that's what corrupted their minds to lead them to the sin. And I don't think that's something that we talk about. And I just think that doubt is connected to the food and probably a lot of other things too. But I think that's something that's just so incredible and so interesting. And learning about that, I was one of the people tonight that answered the reason why there's two sayings, right? In the darkness, then there was light, or in the light there was darkness. And that's the beginning of Genesis, and that's the ending of John. And the question was, what do you think the light was? And my automatic response was, Jesus. Because he defeats the darkness, because he's the light. And don't I say that every day on the podcast? Isn't that a part of the regimen of the podcast? We are the light in the darkness. Brothers, sisters, you, me, us, they, and them. We are everything all at once. Yes, everything all at once, yet nothing all at once. We are the beginning, the middle, and the end. Omnipresent, just like Jesus Christ. We are the light in the darkness, and we consume the darkness with our light. I say that every day, and the reason I say that every day is because I mean it, and I know it, and I feel it, and I breathe it. It's in my blood. It's in my bones. It's in my eyes, my toes. Everything that I am is that. And everything that you are is that too. We are stars together. And that is the matrix. It's when you recognize that unbelievable introduction to the beginning of Genesis, where we recognize that it wasn't just sin that happened with Adam and Eve, but it was this infallible doubt that they had, where they had nothing, and they were thinking, this can be taken away from us, which is why they did the things that they weren't supposed to do. So what do we do about food? Do we sit here and wait for them to give us the options that we need to have, or do we go seek them and create them for ourselves? If we are going to be that light in the darkness that we're discussing, you have to recognize that you are the light and you defeat the darkness. That's it. Into the matrix, red or blue, they're coming for you. They want to lie to you and tell you a bunch of bullshit about what's healthy and what's not healthy. And you got to just open your eyes and look. I went to this nutritionist once, and she told me about all the sugar that's in apples. Yet I'm supposed to be eating something that's like pure sugar. The confusion with that, dude. And it's not just probably her, it's probably a lot of other people too. Who knows? Moving on. Let's get to the main part of the conversation.
It's the most expensive form of energy, and it's never going to do for our country. So if we look at the issues on the economy,
which is
on immigration, on law and order, on energy, and America's role in the world, is there anything you would point to that you would say they have?
Can Amazon
They have been unsuccessful at everything, and even the economy
be beaten by retail? No. I think that at some point, Target and Walmart aren't going to be able to keep up. Now, there were stores before Target and Walmart, and they were called Caldors and Ames and some other shit. I think there was Kmart too. There might have been more. I don't know. And the only reason I know about this shit is because I've done projects on them, and I've studied retail, right? Honestly. How does a brick and mortar store compete with a consumer ship to home only platform? The person doesn't have to go anywhere to get their goods. How do you compete with that? Right? How do you compete with the overhead of having to pay a lease or a rent and bodies in a place when you have people delivering everything? And I know a bunch of people will tell me, it's not the same thing. My husband will say that. There's a bunch of people in our family that say,
what made you come to the spin room? I just felt I wanted to. I was very happy with the result. It's a very unfair situation. They've weaponized our government politically, so I think that's unfair.
I think that
I just felt we had a great night. And I'd come over here. I actually gave a little bit of a news conference. We were swarmed. By the way, I could hear it. You interrupting my show, by the way, just for the record.
I think that we're living in a time where we have access to everything that we want. And why would you want to make your life harder? I work at a very a very serious job, right? My career is something where it needs my undivided attention at all times. Like my focus, my drive, my skills, all those things are important, right? And taking that into consideration, I like my life to be easier.
I am indeed. 6:45 in the morning. Oh boy! And then I'm going down to. You're gonna get a lot of sleep tonight. Then I'm going down to the World Trade Center to honor the people that died. September 11th. You know what scares me? We have known terrorists in the country. Yeah. And we don't know where they are. And we don't even know about the gotaways.
I think that we're living in a time where everybody's using Amazon and not everybody's going to Walmart. We're living in a time where basically everybody knows what Whole Food is. And if the Whole Foods is connected to your Amazon and you're doing something and you don't have time to drive to the store, you're going to click on that and utilize that as an option. We're just not where we were 5 years ago. And I think we're only going to move further into not being at that point anymore. And I just don't know how brick and mortar stores are going to scale and be okay with competing with Amazon that way. Because sure, there's Walmart, the Walmart club they have would deliver and people that just have Walmart. But I don't really like Walmart products and I don't like Walmart brand and I'm not a Walmart person. So it's not for me, right? And some people are and some people aren't. But like, how do we do this? How do we navigate around and really enjoy the experience? I like direct to consumer. I like ordering things and having them come directly to me. So I'm definitely an Amazon person, and I'm not gonna lie about it. I can't remember the last time I've been in a Target or a Walmart. Book club at so book club at Barnes and Noble. I supposed to go to it on a Wednesday, but I can't remember what Wednesday it is, but I need to figure that out. I'm excited about it. Actually being in a book club in person is kind of entertaining for me, so we'll see what happens. How to eliminate an addiction. Say you want to stop the addiction and find a way to get away from it. Now, the addiction can be anything. The addiction could be porn. The addiction could be drugs. The addiction could be shopping. The addiction can be eating. The addiction could be driving fast. The addiction could be going to clubs too much. The addiction could be consuming too much candy, right? It could be something really horrible or it could be something really stupid, like picking your nails or biting your lip or digging up your nose or wearing the same color over and over and over again. Whatever the addiction is. If you want to get rid of the addiction, then you have to find a way not to do it and have the thing that you're not doing become normal. That's the only way. There is no other way. And pretending like there is a problem. Addictions can be conquered by self-preservation, energy, and self-awareness. That is it. I don't like when people claim that people suck at things or Hunter Biden deserves a break because he had a drug addiction. That is an example I'm going to give you of someone having an addiction and getting away with everything. If any other person did half the things he did, they'd still be in jail now. Now, that is just one example of a person with an addiction. And I don't like when people say that people have drug addiction so they don't know what they're doing. No, they know exactly what they're doing. And the idea that we're going to sit here and we're going to pretend like people that have addictions can't stop is really irritating to me. You can eliminate addictions. You don't have to be addicted to something forever. People okaying addiction to smoking weed or heroin or cocaine or any drug, whether it be fentanyl or anything that exists. Now, there's probably a lot of drugs, right? But if you want to stop something, nothing can stop you from stopping it. Peace can be yours. You just have to create the peace around you, right? You have to become the peace that you're seeking, right? I feel like when we're younger, especially when we're in our teens, in our early 20s, we want to like constantly be doing things, and we constantly want noise, and we constantly want to be in that environment, probably because we're kids and we're growing up and we're learning fun, right? That's basically what college is. But as we get away from that and we start working or we start living, I don't know how, energized we're going to be about going to clubs and stuff like that when you recognize how much money you're wasting on that crap. And you can just go to the package store once you turn 21. Like, peace. And peace doesn't have to be alcohol, because not everybody likes alcohol and not everybody likes going to places, right? Peace could be like what makes you happy.
What are they even talking about? What they're really asking is, why don't you quit football? They don't understand that you live and breathe for football. Because you're Tom freaking Brady.
One day, I'll be the greatest there ever was.
Back to work.
Honestly.
The warnings are up.
As the powerful storm heads up the Gulf Coast, what can the region expect, and how are residents preparing? Fox Weather is on the ground.
Peace is something that you can find and make wherever you want it to be. Netflix and chill. Because who doesn't want to just curl up on the couch, put Netflix on, and get cozy, right? Find a good movie, find a good show, and just binge watch it until it's over. That's what Netflix should be. It should be something that we all look forward to. Fall cleaning. Time to get rid of stuff you're not wearing, you're not using. Throw it in the garbage and get rid of it. Moving on from watching from the main part of the conversation, let us get to watching things. But clearly tonight I watched the debate. I think it was on for an hour and a half. I'm still watching Fox News. I kind of want to watch Murder, She Wrote in a moment. We'll see. City of God looks good. Salma and restaurant. Salema and restaurant. Maybe. The Visit. Knox Goes Away. Thrill Hunter. Something on Netflix called Pressure Cooker, which looks really entertaining. I think it's a competition cook show, so I definitely want to watch that. Get Smart. That looks like an action-packed thrill ride. Chuck. Losers. Collision Course. How We Watch. So me and Skip have access to every streaming service. And I don't know how everybody doesn't. I like to be able to watch whatever I want whenever I want to watch it. Now, granted, that's not a cheap thing to have access to, but I'm a watcher. I like to watch entire series. I like to watch movies. I like to have things to talk about. Not just on a podcast, but I like to talk about things with my husband, right? We like to recommend things to our friends and our family, too. We like to watch good things, and there's so many options for them. There's things everywhere. Why wouldn't we want access to everything? Also, I hate regular TV, and I'm sick of watching the same movies over and over and over again. So that's why we like to have a lot of access to watch a lot of things. Moving on from the watching to the eating, today for lunch I had eggplant parm, and it was pretty good. Today for dinner we had stuffed chicken with mac and cheese. Cooking with pesto. You can make pesto chicken, pesto pasta, pesto veggies. Delicious.
That being said, if you could fact check one candidate, you can't not or perceive fact check someone voting.
Limiting carbs. I'm going to try to get rid of as many carbs as I can. We'll see. Gigi hadid pasta.
3 weeks from now is actually Donald Trump being crystal clear on his position on abortion. Kamala Harris and their campaign have consistently been stating outright.
Gigi hadid pasta. Have you ever heard of that? I don't even know what it is, but maybe I'll try it. I like pasta, so I'd be willing to give it a chance. Blackened fish tacos. So clearly you have to blacken the fish, and then you have to figure out what you're going to put in the tacos. It could be like a coleslaw and then some sort of like taco sauce. I say go for it. Banana split cheesecake. I don't know if I'd eat that. I kind of just like regular cheesecake or like lemon cheesecake, but I don't know if I would do like a banana split cheesecake. That sounds a little suspect to me. I don't know about that. Pickle roll-ups. What is a pickle roll-up? Like, I saw a video for it on Pinterest, but I'm still really not sure what that is, but I'm willing to try it. I like pickles, so why not? and Olive Garden salad. You can really make the Olive Garden salad yourself at home by following all the ingredients that goes into the Olive Garden salad at Olive Garden. I don't know if it's going to taste as good as it does out as it does at Olive Garden, but I say give it a try. I can't figure out how to do the sauce, the salad dressing, but I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep trying to make it until I figure it out. My friends, this has been your Tuesday pod of Born to Be a Star. Thank you for tuning into this Tuesday debate edition of Born to Be a Star. Brothers and sisters, you, me, us, they, and them. Not only are we going to save the United States of America and attack Canada and Australia and England and Italy and Spain and any other country you could think of, Germany and Ireland too, because I'm German and I'm Irish and I'm Portuguese as well. Let's save Portugal. Whatever the case may be, we're not only going to save all those countries and all the planets and the galaxies beyond the galaxies, because we are the beginning, the middle, and the end. We were here when everything started. We'll be here when everything ends. We are omnipresent, just like Jesus Christ. We are the light in the darkness, and the darkness can't defeat the light because the light is everywhere. Just like I said in that class today, reading about John, Jesus is the light, and we are like Jesus. So are we. And you might not be religious. You definitely might not be Catholic. And you don't have to be to understand that you're the light. You just have to be able to look at yourself and see your skin and understand your radiation. In the darkness, I see you as the light. And I hope that you see me as the light too. The best thing I could have ever heard today was that what I say in my podcast every day is the creation of the Creator. That leads me to understand that I figured it all out. And I can't wait to figure it all out with you again tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into this Tuesday edition. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow. Don't forget, you are a star wherever you are. And you are the light in the darkness. I see you. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Good night. Good morning. And good day. From me to you, from where I am to where you are. Do not forget, you are a star wherever you are. Night, night.